this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of Ascension in 2019, understanding the splitting of timelines that is happening right now and how you can get on the most optimal timeline possible. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of understanding more of the ascension that is happening right now on the planet, understanding how in 2019 it's a powerful pivot point for you getting onto the optimal timeline you prefer, and understanding how this ascension will continue to go on as time goes on, or what we perceive to be time is going on. So in my more recent videos, I've been talking a lot more about ascension because it's something that's happening right now on the planet. And when I even started my YouTube channel, I started out making law of attraction videos, knowing that eventually I would be sharing information on that of what is called the ascension. Now, that's because this is a time on the planet of ascension, and ascension in a way could just be looked at as a raise in vibrational state of consciousness. There's one way that we perceive of reality. There's many ways, but one way that we perceive of reality is the old way, which is that of the 3D perspective. The 3D perspective is a perspective of separation. It's a perspective that is emphasized by the ego. It is a perspective of label identification. So you are this or you are that, you are part of this party, this race or this race. When we emphasize these things, we emphasize separation. Now the other side of it is understanding control. In the 3D paradigm, it's all about control. And there's been control on the planet for thousands of years. A lot of information has been withheld from many people knowing about it, including a lot of metaphysics or understanding how reality works. And this has caused people to feel separate. This has caused people to really identify with the ego. You could say that in a way, this is our avatar body. We grow up in the world believing that we are our avatar body, and because of that, we gain a lot of resistance. We don't know that we are immortal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences until we go through what is called a spiritual awakening. Now, an ascension is when we start to go back up into a higher realization that we are immortal spiritual beings living a temporary human experience, and when we move out of majority being in what is called the third density perspective or the third dimension and into what is called the fourth density or the fourth or fifth dimension. Now, this has to do with understanding that everything is vibration. When you start to realize that your life is a form of dream, your life will become more dreamlike. That is a quote that I've been saying a lot. That is the motto of the fourth dimension. Understanding that this is a cosmic dream that we are in, and that there's much more flexibility than we priorly thought that there was. And knowing that there's more flexibility, it allows us to then more easily create what we want in our life. So you could say that in 3D reality, it is more about this emphasizing of the avatar, the ego structure. There's more separation. It's more about control. It's more about time when it comes to past, present, future. There's a big emphasis on linear time. Then you start to get into the fourth dimension. That is still a little bit of polarity. So the good, bad, light, dark, that's in that of the third dimension. However, it's at it from a different point of view. It's at it from a higher state of awareness, and it's more about vibration. What do you want to experience? Manifestation is so much easier from a fourth dimensional perspective. And you start to exist in a higher state of consciousness. You start to see how things are connected as well in a powerful way. And this is all about understanding vibration, that we are more connected than we can think. And when we look at that of the fifth dimension, it's about being centered in the heart. So it's a heart-based consciousness more than anything else. And that is even a different paradigm. But as we go from the 3D to the 4D and 5D, our vibration begins to raise. You could think of it like in the 3D, there's a lot of the lower vibration emotions, such as shame, fear, guilt, anger, and that those run the 3D paradigms. And the 3D as well, this avatar is just on autopilot. It's completely on autopilot. It's thinking the same thoughts over and over again. It's getting the same reality over and over again. And it's identified with that duality of light, good, light, dark, good, bad, all those opposites. 4D is when we start to raise our vibration. We start to raise our perspective. We start to understand that it's more about vibration than anything else. And we start to see that the ego is just playing itself out. It was just an autopilot way of thinking. Now, when we talk about 2019 and Ascension timelines, it's about understanding first off the awareness that we are shifting through billions of timelines per second. This is more information on this you can find with Bashar, which is channeled by Daryl Anka. And he talks a lot about this, and for years I've been studying this material, and it has to do with understanding that what we think of as movement or as time, what we think of as time is the movement through different parallel realities. And what happens is as we begin to raise our vibration, we then begin to experience more and more parallel reality tracks that are equal to that raise in vibration that we've created within ourselves. So what in the old way of looking about manifestation is I'm here, I want to attract that from over there into here. We now see that we can go deeper than that. And we see that it's not really about that, it's about understanding that as you change in the present moment, you shift yourself to a timeline, to a reality that is more conducive of the way you prefer to be. Now, this is intimately correlated with that of Ascension, because what Bashar has said will happen as time goes on. As time goes on, there will be these metaphorical and quite literal timeline splits that happen. And as time goes on, what is happening is we are choosing our timeline and going down a certain path. Now, what he says is at first, it'll be easy for you to jump these parallel reality tracks. Think of it like train tracks. There's all these trains going in a certain direction very close to each other. Now, as time goes on, these train tracks begin to split. And it's that they're just going a little bit in a different direction, but at first it doesn't seem like much difference. You can jump from one parallel reality to another parallel reality, but what happens is that as time goes on, they become further and further away till eventually it's hard for you to perceive of the realities in the different timelines. Now, this is what is happening with the Ascension timeline split. Depending on your perspective, that will be the reality that you experience. And depending on your vibration. So for example, some people will look at the 3D and be like, well, there's all this negativity, there's all these, the government wants to control things, what about everything else falling apart and all the fear mentality? That is a choice that then will shift that person to experiencing more facets of that parallel reality split. But then you'll get somebody that is in a high vibration, that doesn't focus on that at all, that focuses on them doing what they love doing, that focuses on positive timeline potentials, they experience that reality. Now, for a period of time, that person will be able to perceive of the other person, it'll be like they are looking through glass walls. So it doesn't have to affect them if they don't want it to, but they will be able to look at that and observe it and acknowledge it. And the person over here will look at that person and be like, why is that person so happy? Why is that person not worried about all of this negative stuff that's happening? And really it's just a difference in choice and attention. But as time goes on, from now, this 2019, as we get 2020, 2021, 2022, as time goes on, these parallel reality train tracks will continue to split more and more. Meaning it will be harder to relate to the person that's caught up in the 3D drama as this person as time goes on. Until it eventually gets to a point to where there is this splitting to where you don't even see through that glass ceiling even more. Because as time goes on, people's vibration will raise so much that these other parallel reality train tracks don't actually compute. You can't actually even perceive of it. You can only perceive that which you are the vibration of. At this point in time, 2019, moving forward, we are going to be refining our vibration more and more. Now let me tell you, with this Ascension timeline split, here's some of the things that we could look forward to if we choose it based on our perception. One of them is the introduction and the awareness that ETs exist. That this is conditioned to be something scary in the 3D paradigm, but being aware that they exist and that in our lifetime it is highly possible and probable that we will at some level make contact with them. Because they are other versions of us at a deeper level as well. So knowing that, we can then see that which timeline do I prefer to experience? Because some people, let's say, the other thing Bashar says is that in 2025 to 2033, there's a high probability that first contact will begin to happen. Not meaning that ETs land on the front lawn of the White House, meaning that there is certain small level contacts for people that are ready. That may be in remote areas. It is something that's possible. Maybe something that resonates with you, you could possibly experience it. Between 2025 to 2033. There will be people in 2033 that aren't about that reality, that are still experiencing the other reality split. Or the more negative one, or the one that's based on ego, or the one that's afraid of that. Both potentials exist now. Which one will you choose? And you see, moving forward here in 2019, we must become aware of what is our highest alignment and what excites us. Because to me, the 2025 to 2033, knowing that that is possible or probable, that excites me. I think it'd be really cool. And I look forward to it, and I choose to shift myself to that reality as time goes on. Now what's happening is there's this bridge that's happening right now, because now is a pivotal time of this ascension, because we can jump over these parallel realities quite easily. So by me having my YouTube channel and spreading this information, my goal is to help more and more people over here come over here and understand that these are higher vibrational timelines. Don't be afraid of it, because it's a part of what you want to experience. Don't be afraid of it because it's higher vibrational. It's just a little bit more unknown. So there's this bridge that's happening right now where it's easy to jump from train track to train track. But as time goes on, those train track splits will become more and more obvious. And yes, there'll be a period of time where you can call the person over here and talk to them. You can see them through glass ceilings or through glass walls. But eventually there'll come a time to when it just doesn't resonate as much anymore. Dolores Cannon talks about this as well in some of her books, which has to do with QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique, people in deep levels of hypnosis, channeling their higher selves, saying that as time goes on, it'll be like certain people kind of fall out of our life that don't resonate. Our vibration becomes very refined. Here's something else though that I know. I know that you came here for this. You came here to experience this ascension. You knew that this ascension in this lifetime was going to be happening. You knew that you were going to be able to make empowering choices at a certain point. And if you're watching this video right now, then that is you. Because you can only perceive that which you are the vibration of. So if you want to experience the highest possible timeline, begin to make new choices. Begin to see where you invest in your energy. Attention is what causes you to shift to more and more of these realities. Are you focused on the news? Are you focused on separation? Are you focused on the ego? Or are you focused on a larger aspect of you? Are you focused on raising your vibration? Are you focused on being around high vibrational people? Are you focused on being of service to the collective? These are higher vibrational perspectives and embodiments, and you have that choice. And by doing so, you shift yourself to a highest probable timeline. So from this point going forward, a lot's going to continue to change. You may be able to jump around from track to track right now, but as time goes on, you're going to refine it. It's a very positive thing, but be on the train track you want right now by choosing it and by placing attention with where you want. Now, something that I have that will help you with this is a free guided meditation that will help you to raise your vibrational set point. This will help you to be on the highest probable timeline. It's absolutely free. It's in the top of the description box below. Listen to it for 21 days. I think it could change your life. Also, I'll be doing more live Q&As on Instagram. If you want to ask me questions on Instagram, you can click right here. Or not click, but you can follow me on Instagram right there. I also post daily content there as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video. If you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification gear so you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.